Okay. So hopefully the mic is working. It looks to be working. I used to have the microphone on a boom for a long time. But I'm trying it now on a stand. And I've had the stand a few years actually. So it's the first time I've actually tried it. But I guess the mic is in some ways a little bit further away, but better positioned. I suppose more natural in the way of positioning. So hopefully it's okay. Hopefully it's okay. I've changed the actual pop shield to a different one, but I can definitely change it back if it sounds worse. I guess we'll find out. But yes, we do have a turn. Dadman being so kind as to get it back very, very quickly. It'd be interesting. Pork chops, yeah. Why have I named the episode Pork Chops? I just didn't know what to name it, so I'm like, just name it Pork Chop. Yeah, I'm gonna sound different because of the microphone thing. Let me try something. Is it like a good difference, a bad difference? I mean, I've got like the actual pop shield I normally have over the mic, which I guess actually, I guess it insulates it a little bit. How you doing there, silly? Good to have you. Hello there, Alex. Good to have you as well. Yeah, do let me know if you prefer it without the normal pop shield. I've got one on now, and it's like a, it's just like a mesh. But we'll see. Operation Pot Chop. Oh, it sounds like I got a stuffed nose. That's weird. Huh. Okay. One sec. Okay, so I have the microphone on with the normal shield. Hopefully that sounds okay. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm further away, I'm not too sure. I'll figure it out. But yes, we are going to play the turn. This is not just me talking crap. It usually is though. So we'll go ahead and bring it up. Putting on the Nachos Grande. Sounds better? Okay, that's good. Okay. I suppose it makes sense. Our pop shield wasn't particularly great. First time using it, but it's a good thing to learn about. I do actually like having the microphone in different positions. Quite nice, actually. I'm not having to like look up at unnatural angles, and I can actually rest my rest my arms on the desk, which is nice. This is actually so much more comfortable. I should be doing this a while ago. Right, so the Kiribati is going to head about 2 hexes north of, I forget the name, Tongi. That's going to put us within 7 hexes of Wake. We're going to sweep at Wake here today as well with the zeros from Inuitok. About 31,000 feet. I'd have gone higher, but they lose a lot of their maneuverability if I go to 32,000 feet. But I'm repositioning things in the marshals, essentially drawing actual assets to the more protected areas, such as like Roynmar. Okay. I am moving a large amount of submarines towards where his carriers last were. I'd be interested to see where his carriers are. Okay. Okay. I don't know if he'd head south. I don't think he would. But I'm going to move these ships away from Inuitok. I'm going to have actual AP sent to pick up the actual troops from Inuitok. I will go like that. I don't really want to have ships like lingering around Inuitok. The actual naval bombers of Roynmar. Those guys. I did have them actually LR cap over Tongi last turn. I've set them this turn to just essentially run escort and a little bit of cap over Roynmar. The naval bombers are running at about 14 hex range on a naval strike mission. Okay. Now we will be attacking the Ichang here today, which will be fun. I'm hoping that we should have SunYan actually built up to a size 2 airfield here today as well, which would be very useful. It will allow us actually to run with the bombers from there. Okay. Minesweep in, so I've sent another 2 DMSs to Surabaya. Oh, okay, so it's actually made a position. Okay, interesting. I sent all the submarines here to essentially wolfpack him. I didn't think it'd remain in the same position, but it has. So there is, oh god, how many is going into this hex? There's like, oh, maybe 4 to 5, if not more. So this will be interesting. Now I imagine that will take damage, because there's going to be, I'd imagine, a fair amount of DDs. But I'm imagining that they're mostly USN. I'm just hoping that with the amount of submarines in the area, we might get lucky and hit something. But in some ways, I'm going to be rather intrigued to see what we have here. Okay, so we see Minneapolis, we see Louisville. Yeah, so there's a bunch of submarines over here, but there's additional ones heading here as well. So hopefully we actually get lucky. But what I'm hoping to do here then is actually try to source these ASW munitions and just try and force them out of the area, try and force them into doing something. Ultimately, I would love to actually have a torpedo hit something of value, really. That would be nice. Oh, good sound. Thanks, Alex. That's really appreciated, my man. I noticed as well this turn, we do have a destroyer in the Dutch East Indies critically damaged. And I think what caused that was hitting a rock, which kind of sucks. It's at 97 flotation damage, but it's 1 hex away from safety. So I'm gonna kind of pray, but it actually makes it to safety. But it kind of sucks. It might potentially go down today, but yeah. I was like, how the hell have I had a destroyer damaged so severely? I'm like, oh right, okay, must have hit like a bloody rock or something. Those things happen. Okay. Ah, hello. Okay, that's very wild. An AP. Okay. Yeah, there's shipping out there. That's interesting. Okay. So it's still in that area. Ah, so we're seeing ships around there. Alright. Okay, so we should gain some decent information on the shipping in that area. Aircraft, okay. Oh, so he has his Kingfisher set in ASW. Okay, that's good information to have there. It might live. Might live. It might live. Yes, we do have a fair amount of bombers at Hankow, which is actually quite nice. We're going to be attacking Ichang here today, which does have 2 cores. We should win it. The only issue I have about Ichang is I don't like that my divisions have a lot of disabled. Do let me know if the sound effects are a little bit too loud, by the way. We should have more bombs coming in here as well, so we have 331 casualties there. So a couple disabled, some destroyed over there, but their main impact is going to be the disruption. So we have another 21 coming in here. 108 there, 1 destroyed, 9 disabled, 8 disabled, 1 disabled. Game's a bit loud, okay. Let me go ahead here. I'm just going to quickly tab out. Hopefully that doesn't break the game. Right, let's go for about half volume. Half volume's a bit loud as well, actually. There we are. That should be better. About 50% quieter. Oh, right, they're hitting Changsha. I was like, oh, that's strange. Hitting over here, and I should be bombing the troops over here as well, then. As well there, we have a few more cells coming in. Yeah, we should have SunYan built up to size 2 airfield here today. I'd almost forgotten about SunYan until I checked this last turn, actually. So ideally that makes it to level 2 airfield, and then I can actually go ahead and transfer a number of bombers over here, as well as decent escorts, and we can go ahead and just start bombing the heck out of Kianko, which would be quite nice. Sooner than actually expected, which is good. How's everybody doing then? How are you all doing here today? I feel like I've actually got out of the habit of streaming, because I end up finding myself short of breath sometimes when I'm talking. I don't know. I don't know whether that's the fact I'm just not as fit as I used to be, or I'm just not used to talking as much as I used to. It could be one or both. Could be both. Okay. Still looking good over here. And we're going to have troops actually sent over here. Now, I'm actually sending Haruna down here to Raphael with a couple DDs. I was going to have her sent out to link up with KEB, but I'm like, it wouldn't be a bad idea to actually have something with a little bit more armor, a little bit more firepower down in this area, because we are going to be making moves towards Port Moresby. Having a BB to bombard would be nice, but having something that could be potentially within the harbour of Raphael or within another harbour where we can actually have it capped could be quite useful, because we know that it has a large amount of cruisers and etc. down in this area. So I thought, well, it's probably going to be more useful down there. And with KB, it has some pretty damn good protection as is. Another BB would be great, but I don't know. I thought we could probably get more good from Haruna headed towards Raphael. Okay, additional bombers. Looking good. Blenheim's coming in over here. We do have our tanks actually attacking over here. This is interesting though. I do wonder what it's actually up to over here. So we should, and I believe we should have our bombers at Port Blair set to attack, so that'd be interesting. They might not attack this turn, but they do have that capacity. He might be going for Ramri Island. He might be trying to evacuate something. I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out, really. Okay. So there's a bunch of actual shipping near Wake there, which is interesting. The good news is we actually have some pretty decent information to work with, so we can definitely take a look at that. So we know where his subs are. I don't think he's actually aware where the Kiddibatai is. He's obviously going to be aware that the Kiddibatai is in this area. Right, so his carriers are definitely in that area then. Okay, yeah, Vindicator's in that area. That's good news. So we know that we are in the right area. We know where his carriers are. We just essentially need to mass the subs and really just hope for that one lucky shot, really. But that's very good information there. Just as he will see RP5N2, so we're seeing now his Seagulls, and we're seeing his SB2U, SB2Us, which is a nice giveaway to the carrier location. Okay. Right, okay. Right, I-18 there. Yeah, out of ammunition there. Okay. So the biggest things we've seen so far is the Minneapolis and the Louisville. Or the Louisville. Okay. Moving into the land phase. So, I keep bumming an R and around Kianko. We could win the Battle of Kianko. But I do like the idea of actually having the bombers in position to hit him while he is at Kianko, and await the reinforcements to then hit him with as much power as we can. Essentially, I want to be in a position where we can just overrun him and keep on going. And I wouldn't march to Chungking. I think I would march to Chengdu, really. The reason being, there's only about 2 cores there. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So taking Chengdu would be quite nice. At least that's something that I can actually win outright. And it gives me a nice position then to base from, which is quite handy. So speed up. Yeah, he's got a couple calls there. Note 9th, 14th, 27th, but then 9th's taking a bit of a pound in there. 98th there. I can't imagine his forces in a great position, but I'm looking very much forward to like getting a large amount of bombers and continuously hitting him at lower altitudes or fairly. Well, he's got some AA here, so we can't go too low until we knock out some of that AA, so I don't want to lose a lot of bombers. But we can definitely bomb him continuously, which would be really nice. just driving up that disruption, fatigue, and just destroying disabled elements would be very good there. So we actually knock out a gun there, which is pretty good. 22 squads destroyed. I mean, that's nice. I mean, that's 22 AV. It's not a huge amount, but it's AV being destroyed, 11 disabled there. So you can imagine having additional bombers over here would be really quite handy. So here we go. We are attacking here. 163, 178. That's a good point regarding the wake sweep. It should have gone ahead. I don't know why it hasn't. I don't know. Weird. I can double check that. Maybe I might have missed something. Yeah, no, you're right there at Kienko. And this is why I want to get the bombers involved there, really. Okay, so the 15th Division and 35th Division are going to have to do the work here. We do have 24th. We do have a little bit of armor in here. They should be able to win this. It is clear terrain. These guys have been subjected to a prolonged bombing campaign, really. We should win this. I don't think we're gonna... Well, actually, no. Well, it looks like we're gonna overrun the 18th there. Yeah, that's looking pretty good, then. That's looking pretty good. Hopefully we can degrade the 87th. We should win this battle quite nicely. That's nice. Right, reduce it to 2. Right, 1637 to 157. Yep, so we do capture the Chang. Banzai indeed. Where do they retreat towards? Changte. Right, so they head back across the river. But there we go, we have finally secured the city I ironically called worthless. And now it is suddenly worth something. So, minus their disruption, preparation, supply. Very nice, so he was low in supply. He had the forts, so we suffered 467 casualties, 2 destroyed. Very, very light losses there. We inflict 4,000 casualties, so 187 squads destroyed, 20 disabled. 384 non-combatants destroyed, 34 engineers destroyed, 2 disabled, 18 guns destroyed, 2 disabled. Sorry, 20 disabled. Very good. So we essentially wiped out a core. It would have been nice to completely wipe them out, but that's still pretty good. Right, attacking over here as well. Yeah, they're doomed. Had I known they were so weak, I would have gone for a shock attack, actually. Yep. They still had a fair amount, so 145 is actually more than I would have expected for them. Where do they retreat towards? Hengyang. Are they going to go north? No, they're going to head this way, aren't they? Yeah, they're going to go here. Yeah, okay. That's great, I could just chase them up there. So 42 casualties to 604. Okay, yep, that should have been a shock attack. I had forgotten what units were actually there, but that'll be a shock attack next time then. Bombarding over here. Eventually going to try and integrate these units and then be able to march onto Wu Chao, take Wu Chao, which would be very nice there. Oh, so we do see an allied sub down here. 91 casualties. I mean, at the end of the day, that's not bad. We have our shock attack against the 221 core, sorry, Group Aliyev and Bermakol. Hopefully they're destroyed. No, apparently not. I don't know how they're not destroyed. They're being attacked by tanks. I do find it irritating how you have units like this that have no business of surviving. Absolutely no business. I get they're not being attacked by a huge amount of tanks, but goddamn, that's still 80 tanks in theory. That's irritating. They should not survive that. But we'll attack again. I'm going to have that Naval Guard unit broken up and spread around to take more bases in this area. It was an accident to have it sent there in a whole unit, but that's okay. We do capture Boella. No shock. I'm sending two. Well, there's the one destroyer over here, but the other two are heading back to go ahead and refuel. I don't want to essentially overstay my welcome. I don't have a great amount of information in this area, and I don't want to lose a couple of destroyers for no real gain. But we've captured what we need to capture. So I'll have them refueled and then we'll go back out there to capture additional islands. Okay, captured an island. So we captured that base. Good. Okay. So, actually, Hankau, Vanilla, can I get Cyan, please? Cyan? Yes, Cyan. Yes, there we go. That's excellent. Quite a few airfields actually being expanded here today. That's good. Okay. Okay, cool. So relatively quiet turn, but on a turn with some important things happening here. So we are going to be moving into the next month, which is going to be quite nice. I know that my good friend Infinite Monk would be quite happy because he's got to, well, he's got a lot of pilot training Majigari to do now with the turn of the month. But yeah, we do have important things going on here. The good news is we have, ideally, a clearer idea of how many carriers we actually see to the north of Wake. And we did see other task forces around Wake, which is quite cool. I'm looking forward to actually seeing what we see out there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save it here, then reopen it. So pretty about there, then reopen. So what have you guys been up to then? What have you been up to? I've had a bit of a lazy day. Just a bunch of sleeping, really, for the most part, catching up on that sleep. I was just doing some Japanese homework as well, but I'm like, that man sent me the 10, I'm like, oh, okay, I can do it then. That's fine. Be nice to have a little bit of a chill day for a change. Don't get many of those. But the good weather is coming, which is nice. It's nice here in the UK at the moment because obviously it's staying brighter for longer, which is a nice thing. Oh, that's cool. I hope you guys are having fun with that. Okay. We'll go ahead and take a look over here at Wake. Okay, that's interesting. So we see a BB over here. APDs. I expected to see some ships around here. Irritatingly, we don't have eyes on the American carriers, but we are pretty sure that they're in this area. I can be fairly confident in that, but it doesn't have as much detection as I thought it would. We are seeing detection out this way. Yeah, detection. Detection. I wonder then, has he withdrawn the carriers? He might have actually gone ahead and withdrawn them. That's interesting. Seeing a BB potentially out here is intriguing. APDs. They may be lingering off there in order to bring in supply. I do have a good of a eye over here. The fuck? I don't know why that's I don't know why it's showing as red. What the hell's going on here? Okay. That's bizarre. I can't remember what this means, but I don't know why they're being so weird. That's strange. Is it because they don't have... I don't know what's causing that. That's weird. Oh, is it maybe because they don't have a home port? Could that have something to do with it? Let's see. Yeah, there we go. How weird. Interesting. Right. Okay, they should have been underway by now. Oh, I'd forgotten that the AOs were due to arrive this turn. Okay. And the additional support. Okay. Okay. Well, they're not detected. What I'm going to do then is actually have her repositioned. Though, in fact, I could have the AOs meet the Kidabazai and the task forces in this area. I suppose we need to decide what we're going to do here. Now, they were set to sweep. Did I... Wake Island... They're within range. That's odd. I can't see a reason why they didn't fly. Maybe weather? Maybe. Okay. So I do have my AV here. An additional one arriving is very good news. So we'll put you into port then. Which brings us up to 4 AVs over here, which is quite useful. Gives us that additional aviation support, which is very useful to have. Just, it helps us out to a good extent. Did I unload? No, they're not here. Has the division been unloaded already? Yes, okay. So there is this element of second. The difficulty is obviously due to the overstack. But what I'm going to do is essentially have... I'd have to move something else out of here, perhaps. I may have elements moved. And essentially have this subdivided. Maybe like have a ship's worth of men sent to like each of these islands, perhaps, just to make sure that we can hold them down. Or at least the islands that actually matter. I do want to go ahead and spread them out somewhat. It's just trying to figure out how. The troop number restrictions is a bit of a pain in the arse. I don't want to have like an unnecessary amount of supply usage because of troop numbers. But we'll manage it. We'll manage it. Just need to balance them out somewhat. Moving that naval guard unit would help. Maybe the second one as well, perhaps. I mean, that one's tiny, of course. Just need to have them shifted around, really. I do have an APD out here, so that's quite handy. That does help us out with that sort of task. I decided to bring the actual DMSs and the actual supply down here as well. Which is going to be quite useful. What we're going to do is, we're in an interesting position because we don't have wake. We're going to have to respond to this situation differently than we normally would do in normal games. So we are going to have to build up the Marsh Islands sooner rather than later, which is not too surprising, really. So, it is going to require having engineers. Having that division in the area does help with that. By having those engineers as part of a division, it does help us to build things up. It also helps to have a decent garrison. We know that he is not exactly afraid, and if he believes that he has a capacity to do something, he will do it. My worry would be that he would be ambitious enough to bring some marines into the area and take an island, and I wouldn't be able to really retake it easily. Or I don't want to lose an island in the first place, really. How you doing there, Paul? We had a fairly good turn. We saw his carriers around this area, not directly, but it seems like he might be heading away. If I take a look at all these detections, we do see a couple ships around this area. So we know he's still active around Wake, but I imagine he's probably wanted to reinforce them, so to bring supply in here. Maybe even to drag them off of Wake. I wouldn't be too surprised about that, but I don't think he would do that at this point. I'm not too sure. I do want to go ahead and bombard Wake again, to be honest. The damage is still 80 and 83 there apparently, which is good, so he's not repairing that anytime soon. But I do want to go ahead and get additional bombardments in there. Really just try and knock out the base, try and keep him buggered, really. Haruna shouldn't be too far. Yep, so Haruna is heading south over here to Rabal. That's good. They're still moving down there. I can actually, I could probably give them additional escort there. Okay. We do have our naval guard, as well as aviation units moving down to this area. There are a number of naval guard units. They're currently heading here. I believe we do have ones heading to Buna directly. Or maybe just down here. I might have to decide where they want to go, actually. So if we take a look then, so we are seeing a lot of ships around here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can see that we do have a large amount of submarines in this area. What I want to go ahead and do then is just essentially keep that up. I mean, he did a little bit of damage to those submarines there. I mean, we didn't do any damage to him, but all we need is just a couple lucky shots, and that's a good thing for us. But the good news is, we do have our forces that have just arrived over here at Carter Bay, which is excellent. So, we do have a Sayar Maroon. Now, it is a size 0 port, so I can't exactly dock her, which sucks. But that does bring additional supply. It also brings a little bit of fuel, which is quite handy. But essentially, it brings the rest of the 2nd Air Division here. And we do have a heavy cruiser Kako, and a number of destroyers here just escorting for the time being. Nothing here right now. Have some midget subs in there, quite handy. If I take a look over here then, so 2nd Air Division. Yep, so you can see that we do have our torpedoes. We're essentially unloading the rest of them there. So you can see that we do have support and the additional torpedo ordnance. If I take a look. Yeah, so that'd be quite good for us there. Oh, thanks, Paul. That's really appreciated, my man. 7 months. Oof. My gosh. I don't think a bombardment is worth it. Well, we got away by using the actual heavy cruisers. I think we'd repeat that. The only issue is it does use fuel, and it does put a lot of wear and tear on those cruisers, and I could do with having them actually repaired, to be honest. So we'll have to balance it out. I could do with having, and I think I have dispatched an AR to the Marsh Islands. Having some additional repair capacity would be quite nice. We might be able to manage for the most part with just a port in the area of a size 3, but having like an actual proper AR would be quite useful just to repair some damage, or at least aid in repairing damage. We'll see. But I do want to keep on bombarding it. I can't leave him like secure in it, really. But we'll do our best. Combate. Okay. But this is good then. So we are just going to essentially use these submarines as an offensive weapon here. Some of them are a little bit lower on endurance, but not bad actually. I mean, the lowest being there 28, so we can definitely handle that. But yep, I just want to try and land a couple lucky torpedo shots in there. He may move, but he's going to have to make a choice really easily at this point. But the good news is we do have a battleship moving down to the area. I do have Bichokai and Haguro. We have Sazuya and Kumano here as well. We are a little bit lighter on DDs right now, but that's because I sent a couple DDs with the CA down there. But that's not too bad. Of course, we do have a couple more DDs coming in there with the Haruna. But yeah, the idea being is if he does come into Rabal or to some of these bases in the area, I want to have something that can try to prevent him getting a bombardment on the airfield, really. I don't recall, were you planning on taking PM? Yes, we are going to take PM. I was in an iron about using the 2nd Division, but in fact I'm going to keep the 2nd Division in this area. I'm going to use them really to build up the bases in this area, but we are going to have them essentially used eventually to take Wake Island. We'll just have to orchestrate an invasion there using LSDs and etc. and having like some supremacy in the area would be quite nice. But we'll try to do our best. Now these fellows should have actually had some rest, which is quite good. Yes, their fatigue has diminished, which is good. Okay. Yeah. We did lose some numbers there, which kind of hurts us, but it's not so bad, I guess. It is, but I don't know. What can you do? I was wanting to actually sweep Wake. I'm not too sure why that didn't go ahead. I'm going to have to blame it on... yeah, I'm going to blame it on weather, perhaps. But we started to take a little bit of initiative in this area here now, which is good. We're not far from having our size 2 airfield up here for a Carter. Okay. We are going to move some naval guard units onto these bases as well. The reason being, I don't want him to essentially drop off like a regiment of Marines or something like that. Or whatever you want to call it. I don't want him to be able to do that and have a toehold. I do want to hold on to that. Now I'm not taking that yet before, but I will do now. So aircraft losses, we're looking at 2 Jakes here today. He does use a TPD Devastator, which is quite nice. Not a huge thing. An Albacore, so that is British, I do believe. So just 2-2 here today. On the ship's fronts, no ships sunk. Now the destroyer I mentioned earlier is this one, yeah, Yamagumo, which is a shame because it's a very nice destroyer. I think it hit a rock or something because it dropped the troops off over here. I think it might be quite literally dead. Yeah, it didn't even move a turn. Sorry, it didn't even move a hex. It hit a rock, I think. Which kind of sucks. I'm not seeing like last hit by something, so I just think it hit a rock. Which can happen. I might scuttle... It's a shame though, if I can save it I'd like to, but it hasn't moved. It's technically not moving at all. I'm not sure if I can move it if it's got speed 0. One would have possibly got it home there, but I guess we'll see. Okay. Moving our assets out here, that's good. So we'll arrive at Bandoang tomorrow with the majority. Some have arrived already, which is good, so we can put them into combat mode. And we have the army here, the actual army headquarters. Now, I do have these mountain guns, which I'm going to go ahead and begin to bombard Bandoang with. It'd be a nice thing to actually get an idea of what his strength is like. And, yeah, we're essentially gearing up for the final fall of a base on Java. I still need to take this base over here, but I just need to get them in there, and that base there too. But that'll be easily done. I am transferring a couple heavy cruisers south, actually, with some destroyers here too. I've noticed he does have a build-up. I noticed a ship over here. And I don't like him moving things, so I imagine he's probably going to try to build this base up, so I'm not happy about that. So what we're going to do then is bombard the hell out of that base, essentially, if I can get away with that. I also do feel like we are lacking fighters around Kopang, so we might have to take a look at what we can do about that. I would like to go about the process of diminishing Darwin and really trying to shut it down, to be honest. I don't want him to have any sort of toehold in that area. Yeah, we could go in there to bombard at max range. Yeah, see, that's the way I think about it, therefore, for the most part. If it has a small chance of surviving, then that's great. And it's a nice DD, I would like it to survive. Oh, I forgot to set up the bombardment here today, that was my bad. I'll have them bombard and then they can retire. Yeah, then retire. Okay, they're unloading. So that brings additional... Yeah, brings some engineers, some aviation over here, which is nice. Quite a lot of aviation support, actually, I tell you. That's a pretty nice unit there with the radar, too. Cool. Right, so I have some noise over here. They're running with 16. I might have them shift down here to the south, then, actually. Do you want to build up any other bases in Talagi, Guadalcanal? We'll eventually build them all up, for the most part. Anything that is useful, like this entire cluster will build up eventually. I do need to go ahead and take these little dot bases in the area too, like Anton Java too. I need to take everything in this area. It's definitely delays in this area. It's not been too bad, I guess, in the long run. It's definitely slowed us down. We would have taken far more had things been more normal. But at least we haven't been kicked out of the area. We had losses, but hey. What can you do? Now, we are sending out a number of AGPs and ships of that kind of class. They're kind of all over the place here at the moment. So we have a bunch of 8Ks, essentially ships that are being sent out to act as really information gathering. That one's going to be doomed if it heads that way. But yeah, they're kind of out here. The idea behind that is so we can get some solid information about any shipping in this area, any sneak attacks really. They'll act as a tripwire. Okay. So they're heading back to refuel then, I see. Right. Yeah, so we do take Ichang here today. 2 units, 1 unit. 32 still standard, 2 there. 21 there. Okay. And we are closing in on Pao Shan. You can see the additional artillery's arriving here as well. 5th Division 39 now. I think they were at 26 last turn. The previous turn. So they're closing in. It looks like our forces have arrived in the Hex now. Excellente. Oh no, we've not arrived in his Hex, he's arrived in our Hex. Okay. Right. Cancel that movement. Well, that's convenient. And then over here we see 2 ships. I wonder if he's actually just trying to test us out. Test us, really. That's on a range that is 13. I'd have to be wary that he has escort. I don't think he would. He might be trying to actually get these guys out. He might be trying to land some ships over here at Rambri Island, or even potentially around here somewhere. I've got to be mindful of that. And we are fortunate that we do have 2 tank divisions. Sorry, I wish there were divisions. We do have 2 tank regiments here on this road, so they could they could respond fairly quickly. I think we have to take Chengtu and Chungking. I think that's where they respawn. Okay, not too far away. And I do have another Thai unit moving across there. Yeah, so they're going to arrive next turn. I'm hoping that's not going to trigger a shock attack. It shouldn't trigger a shock attack. It shouldn't. I'd be quite happy to have additional AV in there. Now, I do have these 2 RF gun battalions. So obviously these being our 2 anti-tank battalions there should be quite handy. I did want to get some tanks across here, but I've had to send the tanks south actually to go ahead and deal with this here. I'm going to go ahead and have a deliberate attack launched. I'm not too sure what these 4 units, I'm not too sure what they are. We have 1 unit here. I wonder what this could be. But either way, we have tanks, so that's quite good. Lido. Oh, over here to the north. 4 bombers apparently, 2 units there, small units. I just trying to do reconnaissance in this area, try and get information about what we're facing. Large amount of cruisers up there. Aye. I don't think I need a garrison here. We should be able to manage that. It is clear terrain here, so tank attack in there should be fine. And we've arrived over here to the north, which is good. Go for that deliberate attack. Size 2 airfield's very handy. And then they're moving north there. I'll take them some time, but that's okay. Likely not. I don't know, really. I don't know. He may have accepted that China is going to fall. I don't know if he'd want to fly more supply in there. He may feel that it's not worthwhile, perhaps? I don't know. It probably would be worthwhile because it would try, well, be potentially able to keep the Chinese fighting a little bit longer, but I don't know. Perhaps not. We'll march on this road then to continue to chase them down. It is a major road, so it's a quick march. Just waiting on our forces to mass over here, really. Moving these divisions, so tomorrow they will be here, and then a couple days after we'll be here at Changsha with a couple extra divisions. So what we'll be doing then is getting ready to cross over here, taking a base, well, taking these bases over here, and ideally we could trap his forces in Changsha and destroy them. That would be quite handy. But if he was to leave a city and I was able to capture it fairly intact, I would be quite happy with that too. I would like to try and net as much in the way of industry as I possibly can. Especially, well, heavy industry is great, but I really would prefer to have more light industry if I could capture it. The reason being, it's just going to continue to tick on forever. Though in fairness, heavy industry is fine. We will generate fuel in this area and have it able to be sent out here, so it's not too bad. Essentially capturing anything would be great. Oh, for no, as they say. Oh, for no. Okay. Just some random AA moving in there. But in fairness, he did a bombers the other day, so it would be useful to have a little bit of AA. Something a little bit better than just like an AMG. AAMG. Alright. We're going to be attacking here soon. So with Xi'an built up to size 2, that's excellent. Yeah, they actually, yeah, that should be built up fairly quickly then. We'll continue to expand now. Now, it's Shang. Oh, excellent, it's undamaged. Oh, that's really great news. Okay. Right, we need that built up immediately then. Yeah. So we have here then 312 engineers. That should be fairly quick then, actually. Should be fairly quick. Right. Treated over here. Okay. Now his men over here should in theory be cut off, which is good. He does have these forces over here. He's got these guys over here in the swamp, but they're not going to be moving anytime soon. I'm moving a unit over here to this part of the swamp as well, just to make sure he can't just march out to the south. I don't really want to have him do anything unexpected. Okay. I'm moving behind his forces over here, so tomorrow, the day after, we should be around here. Just getting things set up. Thunderstorms in this area is not good. Okay. Our brigade's marching onto the enemy here. Now, I'm trying to trap these fellows here. And that's easier said than done. Do I have a road there? I don't. I may have may attack. I could do with just a unit over here, really. I'll see if I can find something. Oh, okay, so he's moving there. Right. Oh, that's really handy, actually. They can remain here, then. I'm so glad he's doing that. I was actually expected to have to go in there and get him, but if he's going to go here, then that's brilliant. I'm quite happy with that. It means I can actually just sally out to destroy him with the tanks. I don't have a garrison requirement here, so that's okay. There's not even any industry here, so I can essentially leave it alone and be fine. I'm quite happy with that. Hi. Very nice. I'm just really happy that it's going to save us the trouble here. It's going to be a long time before we can go and get him. But at least once he's actually moved, I can destroy him and then send the tanks south. Cool. Right, so I do have a 23rd Tank Regiment heading south now. I'll have them sent over here to Kungjiang and then we can attack there, drive him out. And we'll be good to go. They shouldn't be too far away now. Yeah, so they've only got 5 miles to go. And then they'll be here. Then just a couple of days and we'll be here. But we should be able to get the bombing campaign started then against Xi'an, which is quite, sorry, against Kienko from Xi'an now, which is great. Go ahead and happy about that. That's looking good then. Just shy of 20,000 points now. Hopefully we can gain some over here in China. Which we will. Yeah, his position's not looking great, really. There's a good number of units around China that we still have to defeat, so I'm looking forward to being able to actually get to them. And that's going to be all VP, that'll be good for us. Quite happy about that, we get to keep that for the rest of the game too. So super, super good. Okay. I do need to get these. They're marching onto that base there. I'm going to essentially just have them sat there to bombard. See how strong he is. Going to the end now. Oh, I think, yeah, I meant to send them to Hong Kong, actually. Canton, sorry. I guess I'll have them sent to Nagasaki for now. Though saying that, it would allow me to have the 104th taken out. So what we'll do then is we'll have them sent to Canton to repair, well, to replenish. And then I can actually free up these 2 divisions then. Well, these 2 regiments over here, and then they can form that division to the north, and then I can actually start to make some progress over here, which is nice. So I flew in the paratroopers over here to Kuelin. They're acting as a garrison. Which is handy. Very handy indeed. Okay. Yeah, so just essentially waiting on things to come by now. Have them move. Have them move as well. Even if he attacked us, I don't think we'd... I doubt we'd be kicked out. Just need them in position. Okay, they'll be heading back to Japan then. I'll edit that, so that will be continued supply. Okay, so not too far from having a level 2 port over here. It would be nice to eventually have a level 3 port at Shirojima. I mean, this is it. Yeah, sometimes I wonder, is it worthwhile having that, because he could potentially take it from us. But then, well, he's got to come and take it, hasn't he? And having a level 3 port there, if I could manage it, would be quite nice. It'd be really quite useful to have something that was a fair size to operate out here in the north. I don't know. It's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. Okay. Yeah, so for the most part, campaigns are going well. I mean, we've always been doing well on the land. It's only been at sea where we've been delayed and thwarted, really. But we'll get there. We did well to capture what we did in times. Well, to capture as much as we did as well. Been moving a large amount of fuel through here. You can see that Singapore is sitting pretty there with 232,000 tons. Or units, whatever you want to say. Also, we do have fuel in this area too. And that will eventually be... I mean, in theory, once we have Changsha, it may be able to be pushed up through this area. Which would be very useful for us. We'll still use tankers because it's just... Well, it's a good way to move a large amount. But at least we'd have that option. Okay. What I want to go ahead and do then is, let's see, R&D. 23% here today. Oh, interesting. still sitting on the 6. I was hoping that we might have had a few more by now, but hey. Well. Right, so I do need to have armaments turned back on, it seems. And in fact, we do. Okay. Oh, looking pretty good then, really. Looking pretty good. Aware of something going on at Midway. Which is not exactly a shock. So a couple of task forces around here. That one's an interesting one, but we'll see. But yeah, hopefully our submarines get lucky. We do actually net some torpedoes into some heavy cruisers. But he's going to have to do something. He can't exactly linger in place. He's going to have to move. He's going to have to do something. Maybe it would have been better to have waited a little bit longer and had Ricardo Bay built up to a size 2, but hey. I may go ahead and have those cruisers move to Ricardo Bay, but then again, I do want to move them somewhere where they're going to have an adequate amount of support. I don't think he would head for Ricardo Bay. He may head for... Oh, but again, he could do. He probably would head for Tulagi, in all honesty. But Tulagi is really not the centre. Really not. It would be great to have... Yeah, eventually, once we do have our aircraft over here at at Ricardo Bay, then we will have cruisers move to that area. And make it difficult for him. I'd like to have some midgets and submarines in there if I could, to be honest. Try and make it as hard for him as possible. And the interesting thing to note, though, is we don't see any aircraft. So I do wonder what he's been doing all this time. It always feels like, I don't know, it just feels like he's trying to draw us out. Try and make a problem for us. But that's okay. Yeah, there we are. Apparently it's an AP. Interesting. A lot of bases built up today. There we are. Been upgraded, very nice. Slowly taken on radar. Okay, nice. Right, we'll have more tomorrow. I don't know, I do want to keep that number high, I think. Maybe not as high. But I am conscious that he may go ahead and use B-17s or something. I don't think he has range, though, actually. No, I don't think he has that kind of range. I can't recall what range they have. He might be able to do that. I'm not too sure. Keeping that suppressed is a good thing. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and call the stream about here. Hopefully get the turn done soonish and we can carry on moving, which would be quite cool. Oh, let's see, how much did we gain here in terms of oil? Looks like we grabbed it all. Excellent. That's good. I think it's when it's in the bracket when it's damaged. Yeah, when it's in the bracket it's damaged. I always forget which one it is. Cool. And there's 5,000 oil. Nice amount of resources, actually. 40k resources is pretty good. I'm quite happy about that. I can make some good use of that. Need to take Babo. But that's good. Additional oil is very nice to have there. Takes us up to 31,440 maximum production of oil. That's good. Still a couple more oil citrus to gain, but that's excellent. Okay. We're looking pretty solid, to be honest. Right there, still planning for Quailin. I'm going to have them planned for... do I have them planned for Tuyun or Quayang? I'm going to go for Tuyun. There we go. So thank you very much for watching there, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. We shall get it turned back shortly. So, until next time, thank you and goodbye. See you in the future.